Welcome to the Big Money Podcast. I am Janine Hurd, here to guide you to scale your business from 7 to 8 figures and building wealth that lasts for generations. Get ready for audacious strategies, real talk, and next level business moves. So let's dive in today's episode. Welcome back, powerful genius. Couldn't be more pumped to start into today's episode. I feel at the beginning of the year or the end of a year, we can see so many people talking about their social media business predictions for the next 12 months, what they think is working, what's not working. And to be honest, I always believe it's just not necessary. Let me put it like this. And here's why. There's always going to be the people that buy a basic white shirt. There's always going to be the people that buy something completely glitter, like complete opposite of a white shirt. There are always the people that are looking what are the newest trends and are following those trends, copy and mimic. And then there's always the trendsetters, the people that just don't follow the freaking trend because they set the trend. And in being in business now for such a long time and being a freaking trendsetter over and over again, reinventing myself, my business, how we lead, how we show up, how we market, I deeply believe you don't need any freaking trends. You just don't. And it's much easier. And yes, it takes more courage in the beginning. But why don't you just become a freaking trendsetter? Why are you not the one that's setting trends? Why are you not marketing, creating offers, prices, whatever it is in your business that is truly coming from your heart? Because for me, one thing, and we talked about this, and if you're new to my world, definitely go back, I think, to the kind of like November, December episodes of 2024, we talked a lot about the difference between ideal clients and dream clients. And for most of us, we are bored. We are bored as consumers because everything is the same. And I see this over and over again when I'm on Instagram, on my business account, the Rich and Happy account. I don't follow anybody except my private account because I want to have a clean feed. But if I see something from other business coaches, Instagram recommends me, it feels like it's all the same. People talking about all the same things. It's all the same marketing. It's like, oh, there's someone that set a new trend. Everybody else follows. And what happens, just think about it from a consumer perspective, it just gets boring. It's like cool in the beginning. It's like, ooh, something new, something exciting. And we love that vibe. But then it just gets boring. So why don't you ask yourself how you can become a trendsetter? How can you create something truly exciting for your dream clients? Exciting, new, that sets a new tone. Because the beauty when we start like that, if we go inwards, we ask ourselves, we ask our soul, we are downloading from the field and bringing this into a business context. Versus you're just looking outside, what's trending, what's happening, like what are the new sales tactics? Who cares? People always gonna buy, people always having money, people always spending at different price points no matter what. I think as a business, it is much more important not to look what the newest trends are, but how can we create something that is truly exciting and fun for our customers versus how can we create something that's just like part of a trend? Because a trend comes and a trend goes. But if you've never anchored in how to be a trendsetter, you're always relying on other people's trends and someone else coming up with a new trend so you can follow. And I feel this is just not a very sustainable business model. I did some research before and I found a couple trends which I thought were very cool. And first, we're going to talk about a couple tangible and intangible trends. So I deeply believe for 2025 that authenticity is becoming more and more important. It's like we don't want to see just a product. We want to see the people behind a product. I feel in 24 we had this trend with all those like faceless Instagrams accounts coming up, creating this hype of like, oh, look, I don't have to show my face and and I'm making all those sales. Of course, you can do that and just simply lead by value. There's nothing wrong with it. However, as a human being that we are connected to other human beings. This creates a heart-to-heart connection. It is so strong. This creates magnetic branding that we have someone, a person, not a faceless account, not currently in Japan, not a robot that does something for you. It's all cool. It's all fun, but it doesn't create this connection, because we would never say like, oh my gosh, remember when I had this ChatGPT conversation on January 1st in 25? I will remember this for the rest of my life. Or remember January 2nd when I talked to a robot. Oh my gosh, this was so fun. And like what we remember maybe was the first time we engaged or talked to a robot and the machine talked back to us, or we were just staying at a hotel in Japan. And for instance, if you've forgotten a toothbrush, you could call the front desk, right? And not a person would bring you a toothbrush, but a robot. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. But I'm not remembering actually the interaction with the robot, but that it was the first time and I saw something new. But now imagine this happening over and over again. There's no connection. So it's something I'm preaching over and over again. And that's why if you haven't gotten the Dream Client Explosion program, this is really the hard piece, because in our business, it is all about creating true human connections. And this only can come from authenticity first. Be true to yourself, be true to your brand, show up as a woman who you are, talk about how you see the world. Like in this episode, like I'm telling you, I think all this, like, I don't follow any trends, like who cares? I am the trend. I do what I want. No one is as creative as I am. No one is as creative as you are. So tap into that, allow that to be visible. The other part I want to talk about for the trends is I deeply believe it is, especially in the coaching scene, it is so important to provide massive real value. I feel coming from 23, 24, there was so much hype and vibe around like, oh, law of attraction, manifestation. Oh my gosh, look at my lifestyle. This is what my business did. I'm getting all this money. People paying me big times. And because other people pay me, and look at me, I'm so rich, you should pay me too, is not working anymore. This was a cool thing, and it again was a trend. It vibed, it worked, boom, but people are done. Because so many people actually have invested big money and didn't get any results. And yes, many battles here, also in the business world, are being played in the spiritual room, in the energetic rooms. And we also are living in the physical 3D world. So having a real website, having a social media profile, showing up, having offers, knowing things about marketing and how to sell online are not going to hurt you. And it's always this combination. And I always say like the strategy, the tools and everything, right? This is like the exterior of your house. And once we've built the exterior, we can focus on the interior, which is the mindset and the energetics. But they all work together. And I saw a lot of people just focusing in their business on the mindset, energetics, but there comes a point where your business needs a new exterior, a new expansion. And this is a strategy, this is a new approach, this is an up level. Because I always say that whichever programs you've created to make a 10K, 50K, 100K, $1 million month are not going to be the same product you're going to use to create a $10 million month. It's just not. The amount of courage it took you to create your first million, it's not going to be enough to create 10 million or 20 million or 100 million. And this is something we have to understand. So coming back to this, I think it is super important to provide massive value. Like what I mean is actionable tips also in your programs that bring real results. Not just like, let's meditate, let's write down your goals. Those are all things I do, but it is just a tip of the iceberg. And I think when we focus on different areas in our life, in our business, this is really where things are growing like crazy for you. Where you focus on the energetics, where you focus on the mindset, and where you focus on the strategy. And it is normal that there are certain areas which you like more or certain areas you like less, but all of them are important. All of them are creating a successful business that lasts. I would like to emphasize a business that lasts. The other trends I found, which I thought were really cool, I wanted to emphasize here, was really, they named it audio-based social media content, such as podcast and clubhouse style rooms. And it's more like you have a video and you have like a voice over. Like you show something like, oh, this is a day in my life. And then you just see the video. But on the video you talk, oh, like first I'm getting up, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, blah, 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 whatever it is. But you start to see those already on Instagram, which are voice and audio based content. And I deeply believe also, if you haven't started a podcast, it's still a really good thing to start a podcast. First of all, it is so easy to have everything set up. If you are part of the Feminine Wealth Engine, or if you've just gotten Janine's business tools, I'm sharing all the tools that I use, including technology, to have run a podcast, which is super easy. It just takes time to get used to podcast, to talk to a microphone when no one is watching you. It's like you having a conversation with yourself. So that was weird in the beginning. It took me probably 100 episodes, but afterwards it gets easier and easier and easier and more fun. And then the other part is just the technology. But even today, if I'm thinking back, like back in the day, 6 years ago when I started podcasting, you literally had to do everything on your own. And now there is so much AI-based technology that does like the cutting for you literally within a couple of seconds, and it really blows my mind about the quality and everything. So if you haven't started a podcast, I definitely would go for it. Yes, there are many podcasts out there, but so what? No one is going to do it like you. No one's going to have the voice that you have. No one's going to have the content. No one's going to have the opinions that you have. And I've seen this in the past and I see it now over and over again. People come into my world. It's so cool when you are like really hyped. You start binging all the podcast episodes a person has, and immediately people buy all our products at any price point. So I highly recommend you this, because the level of trust you're building to your consumers or to your customers, it just is mind-blowing. And I feel it's very different than an Instagram live or a Facebook live. Just something to contemplate. And obviously, this is another reason to start and join the Feminine Wealth Engine if you haven't done this. This is a place to be in my world in 2025. It gives you instant access to a gazillion programs already, like Janine's business tools, access to a full year to the Big Money Podcast and Mastery episodes. It's 3 podcast episodes every single week. It gives you access to the 15-minute dream client filter to see if you're talking to ideal clients or truly dream clients. It gives you instant access to the 7-figure name, because all of our names have a secret power, secret meaning, which already reveal what our path is, what our genius is. You get access to that training. There's the Cash Magnet program, which I love. It is really, I'm going big here, the only program about money you ever need. Really understanding the DNA of money and why people exchange money and why not. And obviously, once I understood this, you can use it for your business. Plus, the cool part is every month we are adding something new to the Feminine Wealth Engine till the end of the year. So it's leading with so much value. Trust me, you won't regret at all. It's mind-blowing what's happening. And the bonus if you're joining in January 2025 is the She Leads program. This program has been a community favorite, and here's why. The program is called She Leads Million Follows, and obviously you also can buy it separately. Is that I saw many of my clients, they are super excited in the beginning, they stop. Self-sabotage kicks in. And I've learned this over and over again, that actually it is so easy to start something. However, the reward just to start something is very little. And the reward for actually finishing through, doing the things we promised we would, the rewards are insane. But many people can't follow through. The self-sabotage is too high. So in this program, we're really navigating through self-sabotage, and not just like, oh, if you don't feel motivated, this is what you should do. I don't care about this. I want to go to the root cause with you. Why the heck are you breaking promises to yourself? Why have you done this in the past? What is the root cause? Where is the self-sabotage truly coming from? It's like, imagine you are having a headache and most people would give you a freaking aspirin. I don't want to give you an aspirin. I want to understand where your headache is coming from and what can we do so you will never ever have a freaking headache. And this is exactly what we're doing in the She Leads program. We're going to the root cause Where was it in your life that you broke a promise to yourself for the first time? And how to fix that for the rest of your life. I love you. I talk to you soon. These are my personal social media 2025 predictions. In a nutshell, in one sentence, I would say, who cares about trends? You just become the trend. And that's so powerful because the only thing you have to do is tune inwards instead of being outside and comparing yourself and checking what's happening in the other world. I love you. You've got this. You are so powerful. Allow yourself to shine this genius. That's a wrap, big money makers. If you're ready to take your business to the next level, join the Mastery Club. Simply DM me podcast on Instagram or hit the link in the show notes, and I will see you tomorrow and on Friday for the next episodes. Always remember, your 8-figure business is waiting for you right now.